Hello and welcome to Good at Voice with the Tara Sampson Voice Studio. I'm Tara Sampson, and today this is the final installment, part 3 of my interview with Lisa Brown, my mother. We get into a little bit about the application process specifically, some pearls of wisdom for students and parents alike, as well as a few things that you may want to look into and look for when you're on your college search. Enjoy. What are some things you wish you had known before or when we started our musical theater journey together?
I think the biggest thing is knowing the difference, like that we've already talked about the overarching university and the difference between call it a Bachelor of Fine Arts and a conservatory.
And a Bachelor of Arts.
Bachelor of Arts, yes. And what that means in the end when you're finished. I think I would like to have known maybe what can you do with this degree besides perform, besides be in a musical, because there are a million things, and it can lead you down so many paths. So thank goodness you did what you wanted, and it has led you down some paths that you totally weren't expecting, that I wasn't expecting, but it's used your talents and it's used your degree and made you very happy. So.
For parents out there, know that there is more stability than you think.
There is. There definitely is.
For those parents out there, I guess we kind of covered this already, but for the parents out there that are very concerned that this is not a stable enough career or that their child needs the ever-present backup plan, what would you say to those parents?
I would tell you what we were told when we went to virtually every school.
They said if you have a backup plan that you would be perfectly happy doing, do that.
You need to be totally focused on musical theater, because especially if you end up in a conservatory, you will not have time to double major. You will not have time to do those other things.
When you're a musical theater major, you're not just doing musicals all the time. You are singing, acting, and dancing. You are trying to master 3 very intense skills at the same time.
And you need to know, parents and students, that you're not just taking classes during the day. By the time you're a sophomore, you will be cast in plays.
In addition to all of your academic
working
stuff.
Backstage, or you'll be doing tech, whatever. And that's, just like a run during the week, you've got rehearsals at night, you've got weekends, in addition to your classes.
Yes.
So
I think for parents and students, you need to know it's not just like a 9 to 5 hourly kind of a thing, or college, the traditional college where you might have 1 or 2 classes each day. A 3 to 4 class day is like a busy day for most college students. For a musical theater major, especially freshman year, you're in class from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. with a couple 15, 20-minute breaks here and there, and then you're in rehearsal 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., Monday through Friday, usually 11 to 4, 11 to 5 on Saturdays. Sundays you have off until you're performing, in which case you have matinees on Sundays. So yeah. It's very rigorous, it's very time-consuming. Then all of those classes will have things you need to rehearse, not just homework to sit and do quietly, but songs you have to learn, scenes you have to rehearse with scene partners. And then, of course, like music theory homework, and then papers to write, acting analyses to do on play, script analysis, all of those types of things, which is a lot. It's so much fun. If you love it, it won't feel like too much, but you won't sleep much. So are there any resources that I can even link in the description down below? Are there any resources that you found invaluable to our college search?
Once you narrow down your college search, and I guess you need to do that by starting, what's realistic financially, and what part of the country do you want to be in? Like we talked about, large school, small school, city school, suburban school. Narrow those things down and then go to each school's website and look not on the main website. You need to go into the fine arts department or into the musical theater department and read their requirements, expectations, all that kind of thing.
And decide what type of program you want. Do you want a BA? Do you want a BFA? There's nothing wrong with not knowing those things right off the bat of like, what do I want my whole career to look like? You're 18, don't stress that much about it. But just if you're like, I want to go be on Broadway, then you may want to lean more towards a BFA. If you're like, I'm not totally certain, I know I want to be in the theater world or maybe film or something like that, give yourself more options.
And don't assume that every program has combat classes. Don't assume that every program has a silks class, because
voice and speech. I have found voice and speech classes invaluable, but I know some programs don't offer voice and speech, or they only offer one semester, whereas my school you had to take it for 3 years. So, what are your priorities? Where do you feel you already are thriving that maybe, okay, I'm not as great at acting, so I should go to an acting-based program so that I can get really good at that because I've been dancing my whole life, or vice versa, So I think... And
that's where I say I am not aware of. There could be a specific resource. Just narrow down your colleges and look at the different programs.
Great. Then, what are some key factors that students and parents should look for in musical theater programs from your parental and counselor perspective?
The biggest thing is knowing what supports, whether it's emotional, financial, academic, what support your student needs, and then matching a school to that. I think it's the biggest thing for parents. It's not just the musical theater program. There's a lot to it. Mm-hmm. And then for students, the better you know yourself and sit down and have some really honest talks with yourself. And then do what's comfortable for you, but also listen to your parents and what's possible and what they're capable of helping you with.
Great. So an example of one of those supports would be an advisor system. I know partly what drew both of us to my alma mater was that from day one, you are assigned a faculty advisor, and it's not someone like in the admissions office or someone that has no idea about the specifics of your program. It was a theater department faculty member. And every student got one, and I had the same one from day one till I graduated. And it was very helpful to have that extra support system, to know there is a specific person to go to, and it made you feel more comfortable having one specific point of contact within the department, so you could, it's someone I'm seeing every day.
Yes, and it was absolutely perfect, because JB knew exactly where Tara was every day, all the time. Well, not all the time. That sounds so creepy. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Yes. It was so comforting. So that was that's something,
an example of, not every program's it's not going to look exactly the same. Every program will have different great resources. So you just want to, like we've already discussed, find what resources will make you as a parent and or you as a student feel the most supported and the most comfortable. You should feel successful, and honestly, you're paying a lot for it, so you may as well get the environment that you need, that you're going to be the most successful in. Any final pieces, little nuggets of wisdom that you want to leave the people with?
I have two. The first one is for parents and students. In the initial process of picking a school, application, auditions, the student should be the one to contact the school.
No matter how much you love your kid,
no matter how hard it is,
so much.
But they are about to be away from you. They are about to be young adults, and the school needs to understand that they're prepared for that.
And that they will thrive, not that you will thrive.
Yeah.
As a student, if you know you're going to have a few questions, wait a few days and keep a list of those questions so that you don't have to send 15 separate emails to the same school. Make one little list with all your questions. And then when you email a school specifically, include all of them in one place.
And then the second piece is mainly for parents. This is not the time to do something else because you should. This is the time to be young, to learn, to take advantage of that education, and to do what you like or you think you're going to love, because it can set you up for an amazing life. This is the time to risk things, because you don't have all those responsibilities. You don't have a home, you don't have a family, you don't have pets, all these things. So go for it. And parents, let your kids go for it.
And remember, your kid is not you. They're going to do better than you in some ways, maybe not as good as you in others. They're going to want different things out of their life. They're going to want a different career than you could have ever possibly imagined wanting. And that's okay. That's normal. So yeah, I think that's Some great
I
wisdom,
think
Mama Bear.
That's my biggest piece.
Kids out there, if you don't get into your dream school, it'll be okay. You'll get in somewhere and you'll be fantastic.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you, Lisa.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching my interview with Lisa Brown, counselor extraordinaire. And I hope you found some great information in here. It's definitely not all there is to the college audition process and applying for schools, but hopefully it gave you at least some direction of where your questions might lie and maybe answered a few of your pre-existing questions. So, as always, if you have any further questions, comments, or concerns, please drop them in the comment section down below. And keep singing.